No, that was too much. It was too much hate for this time of night. Anyway, today I'm gonna talk to you about Accutane. It's something that I've been very open about, but a lot of you guys have a lot of questions still, and I got DMs like weekly about Accutane, and yeah, just here to share my journey sort of, and to show you my skin before and after, and blah 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 blah. So this is my skin now. It's bare, there's no makeup on it, and I am about 5 months into Accutane. I'm taking 10 milligrams, which is the lowest dosage. Third time I'm on Accutane. So I'm gonna talk through all of my experiences from the first time until now. This is my skin off Accutane, just for a frame of reference. Like, it's not extremely bad acne that covers all of my face, but it's moderate to severe acne, which up until about a year ago, it was only, not my T-zone, but chin area, mostly around my mouth. And then it started going up my cheeks, which I never had. I have to start by saying that I have polycystic ovaries, so that means my acne is hormonal. It's like 100% hormonal. I've tried a lot of things to make it go away, but the only thing that actually really works is Accutane. It's a condition that you get a lot of cysts in your ovaries, which must have been, quite clear. It can be like a mild condition, it could be a severe condition. In my case, it's like mild to moderate. It's not too, like, the cysts aren't too big. I don't have a lot of problems with the cysts themselves. I mean, I know people that have this condition and is at a much more severe stage where they actually have like big cysts bursting up. Mine don't do that. They're just like micro cysts, but because they were there, my body then is flooded with more masculine hormones than an usual person would have. And that's usually why hormonal acne is focused around the like mouth area and stuff, because it's where beard would grow. Which is weird, but true. If you have polycystic ovaries, you can have acne and you can not have acne. Acne is just like one of the symptoms. From then on, I want to just tell you some of the things that I've tried in the past that a lot of people do recommend, and it does work for some people who do have acne, but if it's completely hormonal, it's not going to work. I have tried going off dairy, off gluten, off all at the same time, off eggs. I have tried like every dietary possible combination there is. I have tried supplements, which do help a little bit, especially if they are paired with vitamin A. And those do help if you have mild acne, if you have mild hormonal imbalance, that may help you. And it does help me. I mean, it does help tone it down a little bit. My acne is very stubborn, so it still comes through most of it. I've also tried antibiotics. Antibiotics work while you're on them. As soon as you're off antibiotics, it'll come back if it's hormonal. Antibiotics are supposed to kill an infection. They're very rare, but it's possible that you have acne due to some sort of infection or inflammatory reaction inside your body. However, again, if you have hormonal acne, it's not gonna work. And as soon as you get off them, like about a month later, you're back to where you started, and usually the acne gets worse. So I'm completely anti-antibiotics, if that makes any sense. So let's talk about Accutane now. Accutane, or in the UK, Accutane, or in any other, like the purest form of the medication is called, I don't know if I'm saying this right in English, but it's called isotretinoin. So what it is actually is a very, very high dosage and a very, very concentrated dosage of vitamin A. I got mine in Portugal, so this is what the box looks like. This is what the tablet looks like. I think the 20 milligrams are like a burgundy color. So what vitamin A basically does is it dries up all the oils that your organism produces. It does more than that, but in a short, like very short, concise sentence, it dries you up like a prune. What's gonna happen is your sebaceous glands are gonna close a little bit. And what inflammatory acne actually is, it's not bad hygiene, it's not nothing like that. What it is the oil trapped in the pores, and then it inflames, and then you have a pimple, or you have a blackhead, or you have a whitehead, depending on what the process is like. The first time I took it, I was 16. Oh, I forgot to say, I was also on the pill, of course. The only pill that did work for me was Diane 35, which if you've taken it, you know is a freaking bomb in your organism. It made me gain a lot of weight, but more than that, it just really left me nauseous all the time. Usually at the end of the day, it was too much, basically. It was the only one that did clear my acne, and it cleared for about 2 years, and then I think my organism kind of realized what I was doing, and then the acne came back, so I went off it. None other pill actually made any sort of difference in my acne. So the first time I went on Accutane, I was 16. If I'm not mistaken, I can't be 100% sure, but I was taking 20 milligrams. And I was taking one each day. And I took it for 6 months. I was supposed to take the 10 milligrams for 3 months more and then stop. And then at the same time, I was going to a shrink for unrelated reasons. He hadn't seen me for about 2 months, and when I came in, he was like, something is off with you. I don't know what it is, but something is off. And then we kind of sort of started talking about things, and he was like, are you on any sort of acne medication? I was like, yeah, I'm on Accutane. He was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You're not okay. And at that point, I hadn't realized I wasn't okay. When I think about it now, it makes total sense. I used to cry every day. I would sleep all the time, always be sleepy. I'd be very touchy-feely about stuff. And like, if someone said something that was slightly snarky or something, I just start crying, and I didn't know what that was at the time. I thought it was just like an existential crisis because I was thinking about college and I didn't want to go, and I thought, yeah, I'm just sad. When he told me that, it kind of clicked, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not okay. I actually hadn't done this, which is super irresponsible. But if you go to the leaflet they give you, some of the side effects may include, the ones I want to talk about are in the rare cases or very rare cases, disturbances in your mental health. Depression, deep depression, aggressive tendencies, anxiety, mood swings, abnormal behavior, which I don't know what it is, psychotic disturbances, suicidal ideologies, suicide attempts, and finally, suicide. I kind of am afraid that I'm not structuring this video right, but hopefully I am. This is under rare or very rare. What it means is there have been people that are on Accutane that have depression. Further studies have been inconclusive about if depression is really attached to Accutane. They say that most people that are depressive on Accutane were depressive before about acne itself. I can understand where that comes from, but from a personal point of view, which has happened twice to me, I was not depressive when I started taking Accutane and got depressive on Accutane. So even though the studies are inconclusive, on me, this is a side effect that's real. I never got suicidal, but I do get depressive, I do get anxiety, I get mood swings, I get very irritated about small things, and just total hell. I also gotta say I do have depressive tendencies, even off Accutane, and I do have a history with mental health issues in my family. So that is something that would factor in, and I think depression could only be a side effect on Accutane if you are a depressive person. Nonetheless, I do believe it is a side effect. I can't back that up, it's just from experience. So my first depression was at 16, when my therapist realized that, he took me off it, and it just went away. The depression just went away. I went on with my life. I didn't even know at the time. I wasn't aware of how much depression had affected my family in general. The second time I was on Accutane, I remember the leaflet did not say anything about depression or suicide. It just said something about behavioral changes. And the truth is, the second time I was on Accutane, I didn't get depressive. I don't know if the manufacturers being different changed anything. I don't know if it was a coincidence, but I didn't go into depression. It was again 20 milligrams, and I took it once a day for about 8 months, I believe. It was about 2021. One of the side effects is that your skin gets really, really dry and sensitive, and your lips get really dry and chappy. But my lips on that Accutane literally burst open. I don't have any photos, sadly, because I do wanted to show you what, like, how bad it was. My lips were like double the size. They had like cracks in them, which were super painful. When I put moisturizer on my face, if it touched the lips, it burned like hell. I had an outline of crust around my lips, so it was about 5 millimeters thick. It was disgusting. It was so painful. There were a few days there where I couldn't eat because I couldn't open my mouth. The corners of my mouth were broken. I could only open like this. So I ate through a straw. It was bad. I just felt a pulsating pain on my lips all day long. It was really, really bad. The doctor then put me on, instead of one a day, one every other day, and it got better for the lips, and then I just went off it. That clear skin lasted me until I came to London. I was about 22 when I finished my second round of Accutane, and it lasted me until I was 24, which was when I came here. I did take supplements in between. That helped, I think, slow the process a little bit. When I arrived in London, I had clear skin. About 2 months in, and at the time I thought, you know, maybe this is the weather changing, it's the water, it's what? No, it was my lovely hormones. So a year later, I was like, yeah, this is not the water, this is not the change. And I went in to my current dermatologist. She put me on a super soft pill called Mini Chest. And this is basically just gonna very, very mildly and gently regulate my system. I do have a regular period and I've never had issues with irregularity. It does help a little bit with pain though, but it's not too strong, so it doesn't make me too nauseous. It doesn't make me too sick to my stomach, which usually most pills do. The second thing she did then was put me on a month of antibiotics and then Accutane. And I think that's really smart. Even though I'm against antibiotics as a treatment, I think it's really smart to do antibiotics before the Accutane, because when you take Accutane and you start taking Accutane just out of the blue, it's gonna draw everything out. So it's gonna get a lot worse before it gets better, and I can say that from experience. But if you do antibiotics first, you're basically gonna kill the bacteria first. So when you then go on to Accutane, it's not gonna bring everything out to then clear it out. It's just gonna clear it out because there's nothing to bring out. The bacteria's been killed. If that makes any sense. Anyway, that's what she did, and then she put me on 10 milligrams of Accutane because I told her that last time I couldn't handle the 20. What happened this time is around the 2-month mark, I started getting really anxious. I started having panic attacks, anxiety attacks. But I had anxiety attacks before, so I had like an SOS medication. She told me to stick to it and just take the SOS medication if I had a panic attack, unless they were becoming too frequent, which would be like more than one a week. Eventually, the anxiety subsided and the depression kicked in. You know, it's just like, I'll sneak a little bit. And she sneaked right past me. Even though this is my 3rd time being on depression, the 2nd time I didn't mention because it wasn't Accutane related. If you want to know more about it, you can check out my story here. 3rd depression! Hooray! Actually kind of 4th-ish. My 3rd depression was when I went off my antidepressants the first time. That was rough. My first depressive symptom is sleepiness like no other. And this is what I was talking about in my cherry winter tutorial as well. I can't even open my eyes sometimes. And it's not just in the morning when I wake up. It's the other day I was eating dinner and just mid-dinner, it kind of dawned on me I could not open my eyes. I had to stop eating dinner because I couldn't open my eyes. It was like paralyzing. They just want to shut. And the more you try to open them up, it's like prying them open. It's horrible. It's a kind of exhaustion that it feels like your body's wrapped in ropes and people are just pulling the ropes down and you're trying to get up, but you know, they pull you down. Of course, emotional breakdowns, yelling at everybody, crying at everything, and then I was like, oh shit, here it is again. So as that started to deepen a little bit, I just decided to stop taking Accutane. Been off Accutane for about 2 weeks, and I'm gonna see my doctor on Monday. Hopefully we'll either find another treatment or find a balance. We're gonna get this shit done. But yeah, so basically I just wanted to give you my personal experience with Accutane. I know loads of people who have taken Accutane and have never had depression. Again, I think this is something that only affects people who have already depressive tendencies or history of depression. In any case, Accutane is not something to be taken lightly because it's a very serious drug. I should probably start by saying this in the beginning, but you cannot get pregnant. You have to actually sign a document saying you will take responsibilities for deformities in your child if you do get pregnant. You also shouldn't be drinking on it. It does heighten the alcohol's like abilities to make you drunk, so you will get drunk a lot faster, and it's just not good for the treatment course, so try not to drink. You also cannot like go on vacation to sunny places. You have to try to avoid too much direct sunlight, and then there's the side effects. Really dry skin. Your hair also really dries up. For most people this is not a concern because most people have oily hair when they do have acne. I myself am a unicorn. I like to be different so much that I have dry hair and acne, which is dry hair and oil in my skin. When I'm on Accutane, my hair gets so dry, it starts breaking apart. I usually wash my hair every 2 to 3 weeks now, so you can imagine the lack of oil existence. Right now, it's a little, I know it looks a little oily because I basically, I washed it yesterday and I basted it in oil because it will absorb within 2 days and then be a crackled mess. The first time I actually cut my hair into a pixie cut, it was right after my Accutane treatment, because it was so brittle. It was just painful on my scalp. There are tons of other side effects that I did not mention because they didn't affect me personally, but you can get so many. Oh, I also get really dry eyes, and that's why my eyes are so red all the time, and they get really sensitive. I cry like when I get a little bit of cold weather outside or wind. I just cry and they get really red and like painful even. Anyway, the list of side effects is this, and then this. So any of these can affect you. Okay, so there was a car alarm ringing for about half an hour. I don't remember where I left off, but I think I was nearing an end. It's really one of those medications that I would research a lot about. I would ask your doctor a lot of questions before you go on it, and if you do go on it, try to monitor yourself. If you have someone close to you like family, your boyfriend, your sister, your best friend, your roommate, whatever, that can also kind of monitor your behavior, because sometimes you're so into yourself you don't realize. But yeah, that is my Accutane story so far. I'm pretty sure we're not gonna just stay here, and there's gonna be more to the story, so keep posted. In the meantime, if you have any more questions about Accutane and I know the answer, I will try to sort it out in the comment section down below. So leave me all your comments, leave me all your experiences as well with acne, Accutane, and depression, or all three. Don't comment me how I can cure my acne by doing blah blah blah, or trying out this product, or not eating whatever, because no, we've been there, we've done that. If you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to know what happened after my visit to the doctor, I'm going to put it on Instagram stories and I'm going to highlight it. See you soon, bye!